Today is a Sunday, July 13, 2025. Russia-Ukraine War, key developments. Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The conflict continues to escalate with heavy civilian casualties, diplomatic maneuvers, and new military pledges. Here are the key events. Heavy civilian casualties from Russian airstrikes. Ukrainian officials reported that overnight Russian air raids killed at least 2 people in Chernivtsi, a city in western Ukraine, and left 38 others injured across the country. The strikes targeted civilian infrastructure in several regions from Kharkiv and Sumy in the northeast to Lviv, Lutsk, and Chernivtsi in the west. Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed it struck military-industrial facilities in Lviv, Kharkiv, and Lutsk, as well as a military aerodrome. According to the United Nations Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine, June recorded the highest monthly civilian casualties in 3 years, with at least 232 people killed and 1,343 wounded. Across the border in Russia, a shell struck a private home in the Belgorod region, killing 1 person, Regional Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov confirmed. Political and diplomatic developments. Jong pledges unconditional support for Russia. During Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's visit to North Korea, leader Jong pledged his country's unconditional support for all actions taken by Moscow in Ukraine. The two met in the eastern port city of Wonsan, where Lavrov and North Korean Foreign Minister Ko Sun-hwa held strategic talks. In a joint statement, they reaffirmed their commitment to protecting each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Kim expressed confidence that Russia would surely achieve victory in what he called a sacred cause of defending the dignity and interests of the country. Lavrov described Wonsan as a promising tourist destination, expressing hope that it would attract both locals and Russians. He also conveyed President Vladimir Putin's hope for more direct engagements with Kim in the very near future. Lavrov's 3-day visit underscored the deepening ties between Russia and North Korea, which have already sent over 10,000 troops and weapons to support Russia since the start of the full-scale war in February 2022. Notably, Russia and North Korea signed a mutual defense pact during Putin's visit to Pyongyang in 2024, further solidifying their military alliance. Slovakia-EU tensions over Russian gas. Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico stated his government was seeking an agreement with the European Union to ensure Slovakia would not face shortages or higher costs if Russian gas supplies are cut off. Bratislava has been blocking the EU's 18th sanctions package over its concerns about a proposed ban on Russian gas imports starting in 2028. Slovakia depends heavily on Russian gas under a long-term contract valid until 2034. Meanwhile, Russia blamed Western sanctions for the collapse of its unbrokered deal to export Russian food and fertilizers, initially signed in 2022 to help curb global food prices. Weapons and defense. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that Ukraine is close to finalizing a comprehensive agreement with the US for additional Patriot air defense systems and missiles. He also emphasized that Ukraine is ramping up production of its own interceptor systems to strengthen its defenses against ongoing Russian attacks. As the conflict enters another day, Ukraine faces relentless military pressure from Russia while strengthening ties with its Western allies. Meanwhile, Russia is bolstering its alliances with countries like North Korea and navigating economic and political challenges at home and abroad. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.